Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cleaner Cast. We are back again. We're going 10 episodes strong, I believe. We are available as a podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to go give us a subscribe, rate, and review, people. Come on, let's get us up the charts. Get things going over there on the Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Whatever your favorite app is, go check us out. Give us a review. I see my Canadian cohort has finally made it in the building, people. He was not here until right as the buzzer sounds. So here he is. He's Mr. Alex Dewar, Bucky VW. What's going on?
Hey.
You made it.
Thank you for your patience.
Can't believe it. I mean, you were a buzzer beater.
Yep.
Buzzer beater for sure. So what's going on in Canada this week?
Caught in a winter snowstorm. No, I'm just kidding. It's
about to say.
Yeah, creeping up on the last couple days of spring here, getting into summer. Just had a ton of rain last week, so getting some sun, and June's always kind of rainy for us. So if we get rain, great. If we don't, not so much, because we had a pretty dry winter. So any bit of moisture we can get is awesome, and make the grass looking good. So how about you? How's things down south?
Hot. So hot. Got a little outdoor air conditioner this week to fight against it a little bit. It's trying its best, but it's still ain't doing its best. Ryan, I need you to go to download Apple, or if you got an Apple phone, go to Apple Podcasts. I need you to type in the Cleaner Cast. You don't even have to listen to it. Just go down the rate and review, 5 stars, write a little comment. Actually, we have a review from this week, so let me go ahead and read that on here. We got from Bummy G. Bummy G, shout out to Bummy G. Go follow him. I don't know where you can follow him at, but go follow him. He says, great show, 5 stars. Such a great show. Can't believe the quality of guests they have for just starting. Can't recommend enough. So thank you, Bummy G. You the man.
Yeah, you certainly we've certainly brought on some ones, I will say. But
we're getting there.
You and I kind of have some connections, which kind of helps. So
helps right at the beginning.
Something around previously to get to where we are. So.
Yep. Well, today I haven't been impressed with products. Not blown away. I'd say blown away by products in a long time.
Yeah.
This company here reached out, sent me a few products. Tried these products. These are, and after trying one called Bug, it's kind of one of those products where you step back, you look at it, you go, man, that was a really good product.
Sure.
And as I continue to work on the line of hyperCLEAN, is our guest today, by the way. The hyperCLEAN boys, you can follow them you can listen to them at Pints Polishing podcast. They have a podcast as well. Go check it out. But man, I've been impressed with these products. So we got them on. We're going to talk about them. Hear the story of hyperCLEAN. I don't think a lot of people really know too much about hyperCLEAN. Everybody kind of talk to is like, they're not too sure. They think they've heard of them, but not too sure. They used to deal with concentrates, and now they're finally getting some 16-ounce products. So I think you're about to hear a lot more from this brand. So I think we're getting the ball rolling with hyperCLEAN. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get them on here. We got Marshall Hill, Nick Walters from the hyperCLEAN store.
What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody?
Buddies, can we get a job position and just a brief intro from each of you? We'll start with Marty.
All right. Well, first of all, man, like we do on our podcast, I got to open up a beer. It's Pints and Polishing, so I always drink a cold beer and to talk about detailing. So this is from Odell Brewing, called Hazer Tag. I had it a couple weeks ago and fell in love with it and was like, man, I was at the liquor store earlier and said, I got to get it again. It's too delicious. So
these are like some crafty beers.
Yeah. I like craft.
All the cool kids are into this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
See, I'm not
say that again to Nick. Say that again to Nick. Yeah, say that again.
I'm having some water over here, but I can't thank you guys enough for having us on.
Yeah, man. Job position, Nick. What you doing in hyperCLEAN? I don't even know if Marshall said. He just started talking about beer or something.
All right.
Know what's going on.
I would say the biggest thing for me is product development. That's probably Marty pretty much handles the show, most of it. I do a lot of testing of the products. We both do, but I think that's what I bring to the table. For those that don't know, I have a really large detailing business here in Las Vegas, and I've been detailing for 24 years. We do car collections mostly. My clients have between 15 and 50 cars is where we are concentrated. We do a ton of PPF, ceramic coating, all that kind of stuff, but been doing this a long time, and joined hyperCLEAN a couple years ago. Bought in as an owner with Marty, and it's kind of the show's being written right now. We're just in the infancy of going down this path of 16 in gallons, and we are bigger. Marty really started the company as a pro product, concentrate type of line. Guys that are really, really, really moving a lot of product, and so it's been a lot of fun.
Yep. So co-owners, let Marty on one podcast, and he's Stone Cold Steve Austin's the beginning of it. So that's what I'm talking about, getting the party started. But so we'll start with Marty. What are the origins of hyperCLEAN? You're a Tulsa-based company, so take it from there.
Yeah, cool, man. Origins is with many of other people that have started cleaning cars. You began to wonder how much more you can do, how further you can go, what different things can you begin to build into your business. And so out of my garage in 2010, I started selling products, much like what we recommend to. And we have a massive amount of young guys that are cleaning cars and then also seeing parts of their city where they could sell hyperCLEAN. That's what I was doing, mobile detailer and selling products. I continued to grow it all the way up to a $500,000 distribution company. At that point in time, I began to, steer into a second leg, which was seeing if we could flip stuff online. You guys know the guy, Gary Vee. I took a Gary Vee challenge in 2017 where he wanted people to find something and flip it. And I decided to learn how to flip a polisher. It's called Max the Jeweler. And that was sort of the entry into the national scene for what that company was called Total Auto Solutions. When Nick came aboard, it was a massive enjoyment between the two of us. Like we both were saying thank you to each other, right? Because he brings so much into the business with his stability, with his mindset, with his operations, like the way he does stuff versus the way, I'm definitely that more out there kind of. I'll throw this idea and then him and I will have to, we play catch with it. We toss it back and forth. We really dive into it and we figure out what's best for our customers. That's sort of the heartbeat of hyperCLEAN right now. Two guys that have over 40 years of car care experience, building products, manufacturing them right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and creating, what we believe is going to be a massive play for the industry because there's nobody that has the experience that we have. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Very nice. So you started with the concentrates.
Oh yeah. So after the polisher, then I was like, okay, I need to get into ceramics because I was at that point in time working with a multi-level layer type brand and like many other people that have listened to these, right? Like you think you got a territory and you think you're going to, no. Suddenly there was another person, then another, and it's like, okay, that's territory thing. I was an early guy that got burned, right? All good. At that point in time, I decided it was 2016 and 2017, 18 was when we really pushed into doing our ceramic coatings. And then I go, you know what? I got to have some chemicals out there. Best way I could see a small company sending out product was to send them in an ultra concentrate. And I really just love the bag idea because, you got Tide that has refill bags. You got big brands that have refill bags, but we didn't have it inside the detailing world. And so that's what I wanted to do. But the bag's broke. It is what it is, It didn't go as great as promised. We're actually in the midst of throwing them all away. I've got like $20,000 worth of bags that it was sad to throw away, but they failed over and over enough to where we put them in a real sturdy, nice nice plastic bottle that we can ship out and give people 5 gallons of concentrate for people that need to have that, car soap, degreaser, interior cleaner, your core basic products. You're not going to find a better value of great product intermixed with, you mix your own water into it. So your cost is incredible.
Yeah, I think the concentrates were just kind of a genius move, but the bag part, we learned a lesson on that. But and it came with kind of a goal of reducing waste. People send you these big old jugs of plastic with their concentrates, but we're talking about little 16 ounce. How much is it? 16 ounce,
32.
8 ounce, 32 ounce bottle, and that makes 5 gallons
of concentrate that then you can dilute further. So your interior cleaner, you're going to dilute it further. So, it's extremely great value.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. It's a great way to start. And like I said, I remember when the concentrates kind of started making the rounds, but I was not nowhere needing 5 gallons of product.
Well, and that was a lot of Nick's push, right? Like we started to really look also at not just what was breaking, but so much of the industry, especially for mobile guys or, enthusiasts like yourself, most of those guys would never touch 5 gallons at a time. They like the smaller packages. They don't like mixing product. They would rather just have ready to use. They like things a little bit more simpler and, let me just spray and go. That's where so many people like. So part of it was also of Nick and I looking at the market. And you can't fight the market. You got to go with what the market is doing. So you just got to get to, surf the wave in a sense, figure out where it's at and see how you can be a part.
Yep. I thought that was, really great. That great idea, great movement, but there's definitely kind of a ceiling with the concentrate line. I think that's when Nick comes in. I believe so, huh? Mm-hmm. So then Nick comes in. Nick, what's your story of kind of getting to know hyperCLEAN and deciding to be a co-owner of the brand?
Yeah, look, when my company's really moving and detailing, we're detailing over 600 cars a week. And we're talking about high-end car collections, millions of dollars. We're not talking about, people hear 600 cars a week and they think to themselves, oh, they're doing, just quick polishes, whatever. No, we did full restorations. We have cars collections in the millions and millions of dollars. Right. I started to get really frustrated with some results I was getting from the brands I was using. It's an age-old story, but it was a reality for me because as I started putting chemicals, and especially the 5-year coating at the time, for those that didn't put it on, there were some real finicky coatings for a long time. And there were companies that kept telling us they had it figured out. As a company, they kept telling me, don't worry, stay with us. You got the next volumes coming out, next versions coming out. Never came. Nobody really ever got to the point where it wasn't a lot of stress putting a 5-year coating on 10, 15 cars a day. That's a lot of work to be, watching and what are we doing and all that kind of stuff. So I started looking around. Well, first of all, I started asking these companies more and more questions. Hey, what's in this product? This product's smearing. This product is not working like it used to. And I just really wanted to find out for my detailing company how to get better stuff. Sure. Now, mind everybody, I'm not working with people you don't know. It's every big brand that matters. When you're moving the level of coating and stuff I was moving at the time, everybody wants to do business with you. They would have let me lock down Vegas. They wouldn't have sold to anyone else. And the bottom line is it just wasn't working for me. We weren't getting that top flight result I was looking for. So 2019, I started looking around, found Marty. The concentrate spoke to me. That automatically made sense for my business. Yeah. Marty and I developed more of a friendship and an appreciation for the detailing business because when you've been doing it 20 plus years, YouTube is getting popular at the time. Everything's kind of taken off and, you have a chuckle about some things like, hey, dude, we've been doing this, we don't see anybody using a rotary, anymore, or those types of things. And so we just bonded over detailing, started talking about the business. And then the pandemic kind of hit. And Marty and I started doing episodes on his podcast. And, I had done some high level sanitization work, things like that, cautioned everybody in our industry what to do, what not to do, especially what not to do. Seemed to catch on. And finally I approached Marty and said, hey man, I'd like to come on board. And I think we have enough of that yin and yang, things he's good at, things I'm good at. Let's have a talk. We did. I bought into the company, and honestly, since then, it's kind of been a blur. I mean, I really can't believe where we're at, to be honest. And that's not about hard work. It's really about all the people that follow our podcast and our socials, and they're buying products, but the products got to work. One thing that I think's out there in the marketplace that we can all agree on is there's a lot of products that don't work. And if they don't work, I didn't think we were going to have time. So we're pretty rigorous in our development and pretty slow to release things. We don't have 15 detail sprays in our line. We don't have, that's just not us.
Yeah.
Because we don't, again, if I had 15 good ones, they'd be in a line. I haven't used 15 good ones in my entire career. So
it kind of leads into the overbuilt products of hyperCLEAN. Let's continue.
Exactly. That's sort of, guys, that's sort of where we're at, is that we're putting a lot of pressure on our vendors who send us raw material and all the things we do of this isn't good enough. And you'd be surprised, your listeners would be surprised. We're really in a position now where we're building a team around us that's starting to understand it's never good enough. Yeah. Like, don't tell me what other people do. Oh, this product hit the market. We test it. It fails. That's not for us. When you use something like hyperCLEAN Bug, which you referenced, that's a polymer-based product. It has none of the dangers of traditional, really caustic cleaners in bug cleaner. It's very modern in the way it cleans, and when you use it, you can tell it's different. And that's the whole key. Look, there's just too much in the market that isn't overbuilt. And that's kind of what we keep saying is that's our motto. Let's overbuild everything. If you're an enthusiast listening to this, if your process is overbuilt when you're cleaning your car is going to be the best looking one at the car show. I mean, it kind of just goes across everything we're trying to preach. So, I mean, that's really, really where we are today.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up, both of you brought up bug cleaner, because, we've all seen it. Mm-hmm. We've all seen the sprays that bug cleaners can leave, whether that's a flash on that front of the grill, that front part of the hood, or it's that run line that comes down those plastics on the side mirror, or it could be the glass. We've all had bug cleaners that we've sprayed on glass, and then we've gone to wash it off, and we're like, what the hell is that? Right? Like, so when we set out to build this product, and this was one that I've absolutely loved, and it was in that ultra concentrate for so long, man, it's incredible the polymers that are in it and what you can do with it. And anybody that has been like you, Jamie, that I know you're on the foam town, but I think you've also done quite a bit of rinseless, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rinseless. If you're a waterless, then you understand polymer, and you can see then the symmetry that could go along with that. I've been doing waterless washing since 2006. So it was always difficult to do a waterless or a rinseless wash for me in Oklahoma with just using polymers. Made it difficult until I developed the product. And you can symmetry in it with anything. And like we talked about, if it's overbuilt, it means that, okay, that's all cool, polymers, it's all cool, everything, but does it fucking work? Jamie, does it work?
Yep. Oh, it works.
So not only is it's the safest thing you could ever spray on your paint, it does its job. Like fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You don't have to rush, you don't have to worry about it. The product is going to work and work safely.
And the thing that launched Marty and I, this was the thing I said to him, the first thing we had to tackle was our slick product, which, Jamie, I know you've used. I was so unhappy with express waxes, express sealants, and especially the SiO2, quote unquote, SiO2, which isn't possible in a water-based formula, by the way, because the hardener can't mix with water. So it's actually a silica spray, which is why we're very clear on our label. SiO2 sprays in water don't exist. Silica can exist in water. And so what you see in the marketplace is when we sprayed it on a black panel, it's 115 degrees here in Vegas. My guys would go to wipe something, it'd be like smear everywhere. Well, those formulas never made sense to me. And so when I came on to hyperCLEAN, we tackled a project and I said, this is my first project. Like, we're not doing anything else. I'm drawing a line in the sand, and Marty went along with it. And we were able to develop Slick, which is a drying aid / protectant, all in one. You can finish your glass out on it. It acts like a glass coating on glass. And that was a ground up. This is what we're doing. We're going to do it right. We're going to spare no expense. That formula is nothing near anything else that's available on the market. There's nobody else building a product anywhere near that SDS sheet that we have and how it works and what it does. And that really launched our mindset, honestly, because once we saw Slick and what we could do with our experience, it was like, what else can we tackle?
Sure.
And it's just a whole different mindset when you have, I used to do 125-hour paint corrections. When you start bringing my 20 years of experience and Marty's 20 years of the different backgrounds we have in detailing, I know if a product's right within seconds. It doesn't take me days. It takes me seconds to realize if something's right or not. So that's really where everything jumped off for us.
Yeah. And Jamie, you can definitely appreciate it, right? Like you used it streak-free, correct?
Streak-free.
Streak-free.
One towel. And I didn't even have two towels. One towel.
You've used other products that were streaking, and you had to try and figure out how to combine them to help the company so that they would stop streaking, right?
No, I didn't have a streaking issue. It just made for the new product, a little bit of a problem.
I wasn't trying to. I've gathered some information of some stuff that you were trying to help solve.
Marty's trying to go all pro wrestling on
problem.
us. He brought the beer. He wants me to get on turnbuckle, cut a promo. I see what's going on, Marty. Don't keep it straight down the middle. We're talking about hyperCLEAN here, Marty. But yes, Slick is phenomenal, especially on glass, man. I'm telling you, I got the demo of it. One towel, on, off, got protection, no streaks, just phenomenal. I don't think nothing really does come close to that or bug. And we were talking about bug, and you know how you said everybody has a bug problem, right? Apparently everybody doesn't have a bug problem because Mr. Alex Dewar here.
Nope.
Last week we did the top 10 products kind of what we've tried recently or what's in our arsenal. And we got to bug remover. And of course mine's bug now. I made that very clear. But Dewar here is like, I don't really see bugs. So apparently no bugs in Canada and California. I think Mike's out of detail and also chimed in. I don't see bugs either. So
there's a lot of
y'all missing
bugs
out on a great product
to the east of us, but I don't deal with a ton of bugs. So
count your blessings, man.
Yeah, because they're a problem.
I've gone to Colorado in the summer, and there's a little bit of bugs, but not bad. You go to Arizona. I set out at a pool for the first time with warm air and didn't have to go right. There was no bugs anywhere. I was like, this is unbelievable. I've never experienced warmth without bugs, right?
Yeah.
Because we'll vacation or we'll go through somewhere through the South or Florida, or you were going to go to Alabama, right? We'll head that way. You always got bugs. Go through Louisiana, right? There's always bugs. All of us get that good life like Nick out there in Vegas life. I don't know.
Yeah, no, not heavy on the bugs out here.
Well,
but it's
bug is a complete godsend down here.
It sounds like you guys are making products to address the problem that you yourselves have experienced, because experience is huge. Regardless of what industry you're in, experience is the main thing. And I think that you're not just making a product to make a product is pretty special. And you're kind of laser focused on a few things, and that's the big thing, and make it the best you can.
Yeah, you look over here on my desk. I got like 7 bottles of stuff of different products that we have in development. The one thing that we don't, it's really a core principle, is we're not going to rush things.
Oh, of course.
If something's right, it's right. There's a lot of cookie cutter, hey, you know, we need this and this guy has it, so we're gonna do it, and you know, whatever, this is good enough. We're building a reputation, you know, and you know, doing so through detailing, you know, professionally, like Marty and I have. You realize there's only one shot here. You know, you can't redo. We've all seen brands come and go in detailing chemicals, right? We've all seen the flash in a pan. They spend a bunch on marketing, and all of a sudden you look back a year later and you're like, where did those people go? Yeah, I bought one bottle from them. I can't believe they're out of business, right? They didn't really have, you know, any kind of mindset towards longevity. And, you know, I've already been in this 24 years. It's not really that difficult for me to see my future in this as the next 20 years, you know, because I've already committed my life to this. And I think Marty feels the same way. And I think that long-term viewpoint is pretty rare, and I'm glad we have it and we have the ability to have it. You know, so I appreciate everybody seeing that.
Yeah. So Doers in Canada, we got to figure out how to get him some product. And Ken here asks, are the products sold in Canada anywhere?
Not yet, but we've got we've sent some packages up there to some supply companies.
Nice.
We're moving in that direction, man. We hope to be there very soon. Yeah,
I'm telling you, hyperCLEAN is just getting started, but I think the train is about to get rolling for sure.
Yeah, because you send products to a supply company that's going to test them, right?
Yeah.
Jamie, I mean, you could validate, right? Like, you just go ahead and put your stamp on it there, brother.
Yep.
We'll just connect you two. We'll say, hey,
just send them my
go see
TikTok
Jamie.
reviews.
He'll let you know.
Just send them my TikTok reviews. It'll be covered. I mean,
there you go.
They'll be ordering by the bucket.
If Jamie says a product's good, you can usually trust him.
I ain't saying it for my health. I tell y'all that.
Bucky, I'm curious. As an enthusiast, what's your number one thing that you're always looking for from a company?
There you go.
Oh, that's a good question. Didn't know we are going to be getting questions here for me.
Hey, professional podcasters here, Bucky.
Yeah, I appreciate honesty in a company, and when a product says on the bottle what it's supposed to do, and you know, isn't super flashy and just works, you know. And obviously with me being an enthusiast, I'm not doing a ton, but you know, when a product gets me excited, then you tend to kind of stick with it. And I think that's just kind of the biggest thing is, as long as if a product says it does one thing on the bottle and it actually performs, that's the biggest thing for me. That's what I love.
Cool. What's the thing you hate most?
Oh geez, I really don't like a lot of buzzwords, and kind of with the label thing, just some of the companies out there that you know who they are. Will have one product and they'll promise you the moon, and I can't stand that. And just the people that don't choose to educate themselves in the industry and just like, well, take some flashy TV commercial buzzword. And I'm guilty of that too. I've seen some products that I'm like, hey, you know, it's on TV, it's got to be good, right? But actually kind of getting involved in the industry and experiencing, you know, different brands and getting opinions from other people, like once you find a product that's good, you know, kind of ignore the flash and the hype and just educate a little bit so you kind of understand the process and go from there. Because there's people who will smack talk a really good product that works super great, you know, because they have their, you know, $8 flashy TV commercial product and think that's the best thing ever, but they never actually tried anything else. That's what I don't love.
Definitely.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
Let's get into some buy or sales. Y'all do this on y'all's podcast.
There we go.
So this is going to be good. Of course, I've detail oriented. That's what the people came here to see. I'll try and keep it, you know, out of detailing to keep your brains right on y'all's podcast. Y'all do talk a lot during the week. I mean, I see the podcast tab. It'd be like episode, next day, episode, next day, episode. I'm like, do you take a break or what? Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta work, dude.
Buy or sell. We don't have to spend too long on each topic, but just a quick buy or sell, and y'all can either agree in a team or flip flop to each other and go get your own. But first on the list is graphene and its current state in the detailing industry.
Sell.
Buy or sell.
So,
That one was quick.
do you want us
So-
to explain so nobody
Yep.
gets their feelings hurt?
Nope. Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Huh.
This is why I do this podcast.
I really, really hope graphene gets to a point that we can put it into detailing products. Grade A, top of the line graphene is super, super expensive, hard to get, and it's mostly used in military applications and very high end industrial protection applications. It is not going to go into a water based spray and spray on your car.
So we're
maybe
not gonna
one
get an
day.
impenetrable net. Of
Yeah,
protection?
maybe one day. Okay, I we're gonna date. It's June 17th of 2022. So the technology, as we sit here today, is what it
Yep.
is.
Hmm.
I think you've kind of seen that start to fizzle because
Yep.
everybody's starting to go, "Uh-oh, we may have jumped the gun." You even have some professional coating companies who took a lot on the chin to have their flagship coating say graphene on it. I don't know that was the right thing to do, and that's big for the detailing industry to see us back out of this and
Yeah.
everybody kind of say, I think you kind of fooled us here. I hope it gets to somewhere where we can actually use it in our industry, but right now I think the military and big companies probably have the rap on that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm selling because, I still do sales, and was out a detail shop making a sales call. And then the guy was telling me what he was using. Said they had just switched over to graphene, the flagship coating that Nick's referring to. I go, oh, cool. How do you like it? Because there's good things about their other one apparently, but it needed to change to graphene about a year ago or so, year and a half, something like that.
Sure.
I go, how do you like it, man? He goes, oh, it's terrible. Well, what do you mean? Why?
Who knew?
I mean, you got their banner on your wall. You got shirts on. You talk about it on social. What do you hate about it? I'm just curious. He goes, well, why don't you come do it? He goes, it's super grabby. It's got a horrible install experience, and it's extremely difficult to work with. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it can't be that bad, right?
Right.
Dude,
Oh,
Dude, it's brutal. Your towel literally, while you're wiping that first wipe, it's literally, you're like, God damn. Like, and some people might go, well, that just means it's working, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not what that means at all.
Not at all.
Grabby on your towel doesn't mean that it's graphene enforced and it's fucking strong. That's not what that means.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I wish, folks, but we're not there.
Mhm.
So what do you think? What is actually happening with these graphene products? Are we just threw a word on a bottle, or did we put gray food coloring in it? What's happening?
They can use a synthesized, basically like something that's really, really, really broken down and has relation to actual high level graphene, and
Right.
shove it, a few sprinkles into the vat and say we've put graphene in it. They could have changed their formula, but I can assure you there's no reputable graphene in that form. An 8-ounce bottle might cost you thousands of dollars at this point.
Mhm.
So I just don't think that that's happening.
Well, that kind of rolls into my next buy or sell, and that is most detailing companies have gotten comfortable just chasing the next buzzword as status quo.
Mhm.
What y'all think about that?
I'm going to buy that you're correct. That's what we're doing here. This is
And
how
at
much.
the same time, right, Nick? We also understand that sometimes when you put a buzzword
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
in your title, you get more views.
Sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, look, the consumer's asking for certain things. Everybody wants everybody to do the right thing. But then if you don't use the word ceramic, nobody's going to try your product. So, the consumer's driving a lot of this behavior because they want to see the buzzwords.
Correct.
So it's a catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. I mean, look, this is how exciting we are. We released a panel wipe today.
Yeah, I was
Because
about to. I wanted to get into that too.
because we finally got the formula we wanted.
Go ahead and
We're
tell us
not
about
chasing. We're not always chasing buzz. I mean, look, we all as a company, we need to do some products that reach into that at times,
Yep,
because we got to
for
get
sure.
people interested in what we do.
Yeah.
But I think if you're always upfront about what that product does, then it's not buzzwordy, right? Like if you really look at it that way, what makes something a buzzword is it's not doing what you're actually saying it's doing. If you use the buzzword and you actually accomplish what you say you're going to accomplish, then I don't have any issue with it personally. But I mean, that's not.
Yep.
Consumers are the one driving what needs to be said on a label or whatever. I mean, companies aren't making that up out of thin air.
Yeah,
that's sort of what we were kind of hitting about, right? Like Jamie, it's interesting to go. Is the companies? What was your question? The companies got complacent or something?
Have gotten comfortable just kind of throwing on the next new buzzword on bottles, labels.
But is it that they got comfortable, or everybody's going to buy that if it says X, Y, and Z on it? So they got to put X, Y, and Z on it because the majority of people wouldn't buy it if it didn't say that.
Yep.
So that's sort of the other side. We might even say I'm selling your thing, that it's not just the company's fault. Because if the consumers didn't just buy it because it said the name, then they wouldn't do it. But because consumers do buy, they have to.
But companies gotten to a point where it just seems like we're pushing out these products to throw this buzzword on it before it even, the technology gets good enough to actually put the buzzword on the label.
And that's
why
we have
companies that are just now coming out with some ceramic products. Ceramic products are getting better and better.
Yeah. That's why we call it overbuilt.
That's why it's called overbuilt. Yep.
And that's why we choose the way we do it. And we say almost every episode and anytime we're talking to people, listen, there's no blueprint on how somebody should run a business. There really isn't, other than taking care of your customers and doing what's right by them, right? So they can all do whatever they want to do. We're just not going to follow what they do. We're going to overbuild our stuff.
Sure. Yeah. And I think, look, if for everybody listening to this, does somebody's experience of taking care of cars on a high level and also now having the backing of manufacturing their own products matter to you? Do you care? Do you care? I can't state that for any consumer. I mean, we hope that it matters because, look, our products get tested on 600 plus cars a week. Name the biggest company in the world that can do that. Nobody. Yeah. We're the only ones that can do that. And we're the only ones that even offer the thought of that we're doing that. Most people don't tell you about testing their product. They just say, hey, we got this new product. You know how many times on our podcast, Marty and I are like, hey, we're testing this new product. It's not going so well. Name me another company doing that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
What's it mean to you? And every consumer is going to be different. As I get years under my belt in this business and I take care of cars I really love, of mine and other people, man, I want people that are standing behind what they're doing. And that's that overbuilt mentality.
And to me, if I see a shop doing 600 cars a week, my mind immediately goes to just high volume using products that they can get the cheapest, the fastest, and just push stuff out the door. And with you're using quality product and actually caring, which is, it's people need to really look at that 600 cars a week and, see how it's really
Bucky, what makes it even better is it's not a shop.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No.
It has a shop.
Yeah.
But all those are mobile.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we have look, I have car collections that have 100 cars in them.
Sure.
And they're worth all kinds of money. And so when people hear that, I want you to know, those listening, dealership 600 cars, you can absolutely go cheap. Hey, let me churn them and burn them. I can't use degreasers recklessly, which is why we have our TRX product. I can't, we take care of, I'd put our Ferrari experience on anybody's level. I've had a relationship with the OEM Ferrari for a lot of years. Right. We have cars shipped in from Beverly Hills almost every week. We're heavily involved in high-end auctions and things like that, and helping our customers buy and sell cars. You can get jaded and say, hey, this guy's looking for the cheapest.
Sure.
it never worked for me. We just had an episode on our podcast. I've never been able to make it work with cheap chemicals.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, I was with another brand for 10 years of my career as you know, in my business, and the quality just got too bad. And they're not a bad company. They've let their quality slip, and I couldn't live with it. And that's why we're here today.
And love that. You know, how many Nicks are there out there? You know, probably few and far between, I'd say. So that, you know, gives you some trust with hyperCLEAN, that you cared about the product so much. You're a co-owner now, still running the detailing business. Love it. Good stuff.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
buy or sell. Got one more for y'all.
All right.
Detailing TikTok. What y'all thinking?
Hell
Y'all
yeah.
buying or
That's a
selling it?
Massive buy. Big
Agreed.
buy.
Massive
Big
buy.
I started talking about TikTok when it was music.ly. And
Yeah, I don't know what that
when
was.
it finally got bought and got moved over to what we now know as TikTok, I said very vocal that it should be the platform that detailers go onto. Absolutely. If we're artists, and that's what I believe that we take a car and it's our artistic expression on that car. Now, at the same time, we don't want to be, you know, that that broke artist that's always looking for his next steal, right?
Yeah.
We
Right,
still want
yeah.
to grow a business at the same time. But
Yeah.
if we don't put our artistic expression, that we walk away from that car and go, God damn, that looks beautiful. Right? Like that's my vision of who we are.
Yeah.
There's no better platform than for us to go showcase our work than to also create just incredible videos. The amount of different styles, the amount of different ways people can do product videos to wheel cleaning videos to, you know, you coined Foam Town USA. You got the flip, right? Like it's super cool. And you couldn't do that on any other platform. And so
Nope.
I've been vocal about TikTok for years. So I'm excited that we continue to invest more and more into the platform. We'd love to interact with people on TikTok. Please come work with us on TikTok. We love TikTok. We're a massive buy on TikTok. It's the platform. If you're into car care, it's the platform for you to be on.
Yeah, I'm with Marty. It's a buy for me, and I actually think the platform it's hurting the most is, you know, what is it going to look like for YouTube?
YouTube.
You know, what does YouTube look like for detailing in the next 24 months? I'm seeing a lot of things now. Marty and I talk about it all the time. TikTok is so instantaneous. Now you can go up to 3 minutes. You can really produce videos. You can really get your point across. The consumer's changing. You know, YouTube has had its run for detailing. I mean, it's been a long run too. I mean, you're talking about a decade or more of detailing really being pushed through this YouTube lens. We'll see if it changes. It feels like it is, but it could go away tomorrow. So, you know, you kind of enjoy all the platforms for what they are. But yeah, TikTok is my choice of just scrolling as well. Like when I have free time, I don't really do anything else but TikTok. I mean, it's kind of it's a guilty pleasure for everybody, and I'm glad detailing is a part of it.
Yeah,
I think detailing has had its run on YouTube is the, you know, best way to say it. I think it's really has had its run. What you got, Bucky?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just if you wanna make 20 minutes disappear,
Yeah,
you know, it's
100%.
not hard.
How good is
Yeah,
that algorithm too? Like it shows you what you want to see.
Yeah, it learns scarily fast. I'm a little scared of it sometimes, actually.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, we all are, but at some point, you want to have a good time, and that's why we're all there. You know, look, I actually think one other thing I'll say on TikTok that I hope, you know, stays off the platform. I see a little bit of it time to time, but I'm not a big fan of the negativity that we saw. You know, you see on Facebook. I mean, we got a hyperCLEAN specialist group on Facebook. Jamie, you're just recently started getting in there. You can see that. Look, we don't have to police that group. We have so many good people involved with our brand. It's a larger number than most people would think, just for a group we've started less than a year ago. And it's all people just sharing, hey, what would you do? Here's what I'm into. I got this job. Check out this work. It's a nice mixture, you know, but Facebook can be negative. Instagram can be negative. These platforms, YouTube can be negative. TikTok has kind of avoided it and kind of had its moments where it's been bad. If it can stay positive, TikTok will be big for detailing long term.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like the lives that go on in TikTok right now, there's a couple of people that I, interact with and I've hopped into some of their live conversations. Nick, you're absolutely right. Like it's terrible. Like even in some of the comments while these people are talking, they're like, "Hey, shouldn't y'all take this off air? Like, why are we talking about this?" Like,
people get a little too comfortable on the live feature of TikTok for sure.
Well, and just the stitch feature is what I'm worried about. Guy has a stitch on, another guy, and we've seen it start to go amongst. And again, I really hate to see it's a lot of guys with a lot of experience where they could be super positive on the platform, and they're actually looking at the platform as, hey, let's be negative. So if we can police that a little bit, and the platform polices that, TikTok is set to overtake every other platform for detailing, I would assume.
For sure. I mean, you would think, some of the, I'd say, biggest detailing stars, there's Pan out there on YouTube. I'd say TikTok has produced probably the biggest detailing star yet of Jessica Tran. So if that's not proof that, you can go pretty far on TikTok, So pretty crazy there. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Jessica Tran?
Yeah, familiar with her.
Biggest detailer on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, so for you, right, Jamie, it's cool to put out a video, and you could put out a video on Instagram, you can put it out on Facebook, you can put it out on a couple different platforms.
Yeah.
But if you do it the right way and you kind of describe the product, you go with that voiceover, like you just did a really good voiceover, right? Like doing some voiceover work, you show some of the product usage. You can use your phone, and there's so many different ways that you can create a video on TikTok that isn't just 40, 50, 100 views. Yeah. Like you can hit numbers of thousands. You can hit a 10,000. You can hit 1 million views.
Overnight.
When has a detailer ever seen that type of return on creating content? And that's why we love TikTok is you create the content, it's creative, and then you get a lot of views on it. And that's why we want to be a part of people on TikTok. Yeah, like let's interact with some people on TikTok. Follow us, we'll follow you. Like let's interact. Like TikTok is where we want to be. We feel that you listeners that are listening to this, like you should be there too. So hyperCLEAN store, go visit us, follow us on TikTok. We'll follow back. Like let's do some fun stuff together. We love TikTok.
There you go. That was a session of buy or sell. I think it went pretty good.
I'm fairly new to TikTok. I avoided it for a long time, but going on it, it's a very, like you guys have touched on, it's a platform that, even if you're not, if you don't have fancy camera equipment or anything like that, you can grab your phone. It doesn't take a ton of effort to make something that can really go viral. Like I had one that had almost 150,000 views for something that took me like 2 minutes. And I was like, holy smokes. And I have done YouTube videos that, you put in, you have the hours of detailing and filming, and then you have all the editing afterwards, and then you get like a couple hundred. It's like, okay, that was cool. It's like, was it really worth it? And,
right. Yeah. I mean,
skill.
Look, Marty and I have talked through with people that have 10 people on their YouTube staff.
Yeah.
And they spend a whole week editing, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't feel like that's 2022.
No.
Just when you say it out loud, it feels like television, and that's what YouTube's becoming. And so if you just kind of start saying these things out loud, I'm not sure what that platform has. The people that are established 10 years in, they're always going to get millions of views. They got built-in equity.
Built-in fan base.
It's like being Tesla, right? Tesla is only popular because it was the first major brand that went electric. So they have that starting lineup of, hey, I was the first one. So to me, it's an interesting talk, and I think it's fun for detailing. I don't look at this stuff as negative. I mean, I think it's great.
Correct.
Yeah. I've seen a lot, like across all the platforms, you see the negativity, and, there's times where I have the ability to ignore it and not make a negative comment about, a new question. Because if it's a new person, we've all been there. We're all that new person. And some people are just so hard on them, and I don't get it. And then even with videos and dislikes and negative comments. I'm like, have you gone out and have you ever tried creating content and realized how much work it can take? And it's like, I just feel like none of them have ever done that. So,
buddy, we have a really popular podcast, and let me tell you, it's not easy. Like, I mean this, man. You hit the nail on the head. You just got to put your head down and know you're doing the right stuff and let everybody just be who they are.
And just be your content, yourself, and you're either going to take off or you might have to come up with a few gimmicks, flip a foam cannon, create a foam town.
We know Foam Town. We got you.
Oh, I was saying Mike's Auto Detailing put in there that he just joined.
Just got on there,
So, Mike, I just went and followed you. So that's cool, man. Welcome to TikTok.
Yep. Get on there. It's fun.
Yeah.
You got to fix, when you're fresh on TikTok, you got to fix your algorithm, though. You can get some weird stuff going for a while, but once you fix it, immediately search auto detailing, watch a lot of videos, and then it should start fixing itself. But if anybody's got any live chat questions, feel free to hit up the hyperCLEAN team right now, and we'll answer them on air.
Well, that's cool.
But,
how many people do you normally have on the live part?
I have no idea. This tells me, but I don't think it's right, because then I go check afterward, and it's a lot more. So I have no idea.
Oh yeah, all good. Yeah, that's just a cool feature that people, so they hop in and chat it up. That's cool, because you see the people leave the comments. So that's cool. You got a good little community. That's what we call it. We call it community. It's a community of people that like to be around what you're doing, man. That's cool. You got a great little community here.
Yep, I need this community to go drop 5 stars on your favorite podcast app right after we get off this thing. Drop the 5 stars, drop a rate review, and help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? But if someone's looking to get into hyperCLEAN products, let's give them like a top 3. What do you think they should buy first?
You go first.
Yeah. I mean, we've already said it, Bug. But if you're in the summer and you got bugs, right? It's just it really is. It's a phenomenal product. The second one that I'm going to tell people to buy you're going to have to wait till July 4th.
Ooh, cool.
There we go. Teaser.
You're going to have to wait till July 4th to buy it. And, Jamie, I don't know did you use it yet or not? I'm not sure.
I've not used it yet. I will have a video popping up July 4th.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. But this has taken a long time to formulate, and the raw coming in, and then all the way down to getting the right dye, so that we think it's going to be the absolute best soap that you'll ever use. We really do.
There you go.
It's insane.
It's called Ceramic Snow. You can take a.
There you go.
You can take but you can take with this product. You can take an uncoated, an untreated car. You can wash it and have instant hydrophobics.
Mm-hmm. And this is what we're talking about, the overbuilt product, because ceramic was in style 4 years ago with the ceramic soaps and sprays, but I think this one's going to guarantee
so
be good.
This is the interesting part.
There's more.
What
do we got?
Most of the companies that develop a ceramic soap will just say it's to clean the car before you put on a ceramic coating, or that it's a great cleaner that's safe on coated cars. Yep. That is the norm in the industry.
Yep.
It is.
And they're actually really high pH soaps. So what they do is they give it an extreme clean, and so it brings your coating back to life, and you're like, wow. Well, no, and then when you use it, it doesn't give any hydrophobic properties when you use it on a non-coated vehicle. So the point of this product is really to, look, you got your mom's car, she doesn't take care of it. You got a family member's car, she doesn't take care of it, whatever.
Yep.
You put this soap on, you use some slick afterwards, all of a sudden she's got so much protection on the car that she didn't have before. And here was the real trick. When you put basically the formula that you have that creates that silica ceramic coverage, you get no foam.
Yep, that's what I was about to bring up. Okay. So this is called Ceramic Snow, but most ceramic soaps do not foam.
No,
at all.
And they're more like a rinse.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
You can't really clean, or if you try to clean your wash media, whether you use a fluffy towel or you use a mitt or you use a wash pad, whatever, you're like, yeah, it glides, but the dirt is still there. At the end of the day, those are the kind of things that so many people, we couldn't forever get it to foam the way we wanted, and then leave the protection, and then reinvigorate a coated vehicle. And if you want to do it right, man, I'm almost certain, because we all deal with the same raw providers, there's not another soap like this in detailing as we speak today.
Very
I'm
cool.
very excited about cracking open this bottle.
I mean, we hopefully everybody believes this by now. We don't really do buzz.
Yeah.
This is the product that we've been spending night and day trying to figure out, because we have so many coated vehicles in my business. It was like, hey,
yep,
how do we maintain these better, or how do we, get these to look better? And the crazy part is, wait till you see how your car looks after you walk away. And this is what got Marty sold. He was walking away from his Jeep and he called me, he goes, dude, we got it. Like, this is a look product as well. So this is something we're proud of. So that's your list, Marty. What's your final list?
Yeah, I mean, and then I'm going to go a little bit different. I think the next one, as you already said, would probably seem to be the next trend. The next product would be Slick, but I'm going to go with Uno.
There you go.
We have constantly felt over the years, once I got into the industry and in the national scene, I told people, you're never going to continue to achieve these forever. It's just not where the market's going to be. Now, we're going to do a 5-year because we've put in our work on it, right? We've put our work in on it. It's overbuilt. We're going to release our 5-year. No problem. But is the average person who's running a car care style business going to sell more of a 1, 2, or 3 year? Absolutely. And especially where the industry is now, a 1-year coating, hyperCLEAN Uno, it's incredibly easy to install. You can do it in under 30 minutes many times, but, taking an hour, that's fine. Spend an hour on the car. We can do it in 30 minutes. And we've had results since 16, 17, 18 that last way beyond a year. It's a big reason why we're called overbuilt. Our actual history proves it. Yeah. Our social media proves it. So
I love the names. Uno Dos Tres.
So the big thing Marty is right about on Uno is, we just, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, as a company, we put on a whole collection of Ferraris, we put Uno. The reason is that this customer doesn't fit the 5-year profile. So I think we coated like 10 Ferraris in this collection with Uno. And most people would say, well, that guy's going to pay for a 10-year lifetime coating and he's going to PPF everything. That's the big red flag, guys, that somebody doesn't really deal in high-end car collections, because actually most high-end car collections are still waxed. You have to move people into this direction. And Uno is a great bridge product, especially if you have DIYers listening to this. It is easier to put on a 1-year coating than it is to use a traditional paste wax. Yeah, that's how easy this product is. And again, I'm a fan of all of it. Protection's protection, and I respect all of them. But too many DIYers are thrown off by these hard-to-use coatings because they're not formulated properly. Use Uno. Marty's right. That's a top-end product for us.
Yeah, so Ryan's asking the question, which is cool. We can see it. Why would you choose a 1-year coating over a 3-year plus coating? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. Nick just listed a perfect one, is what's best for the customer. Yeah. Right? If you're a professional, you always got to ask what's best for the customer. Mm-hmm. So for you, the installer, you got to ask what's best. A good value product that's going to last a year. And then if you, as Nick and I believe, because Nick and I both, he runs a mobile business. I still have a mobile business that we still operate, that I still have customers that we clean cars since 2003. So I know his habits. should he be spending and should he be investing and should he be doing everything on these big packages if I'm going to be touching his car every weekend? Or is it best for my customer to put on a 1-year coating, maintain it with Eco 1, because that's what we use as our rinseless and waterless at his place, which is going to add and reinforce with slick, and then we dry it down with slick. Is his 1-year coating going to last his 2 to 3 years that this multi-millionaire is going to continue to flip cars every 2 to 3 years? Yeah. Let's say he's not. Let's say he's going to keep his car 4 or 5 years. Got it. Is the best value and the best experience for him to have a good value and then to have it maintained over the next 3 or 4 years that he cleans it? Listen, most people would never, ever go in. If you're a detailer, you would really never want to associate with a car wash, would you? You wouldn't. Most people that are detailers hate car washes. Well, I used to own one. And my business partner at that time, he was the vice president of Cricket Communications. And he created up this theme that we told through the whole city of, do you guys ever remember, now get it, most of you are probably too young for this. There used to be a song in 2006 called Riding Dirty, right? Get you riding dirty, right? We blasted that everywhere because why would you ever want to ride dirty? If you're going to maintain somebody's car, you keep them from riding dirty. You help them enjoy their car life. That's one of our things. We want everybody just to enjoy their car life. It's much easier to enjoy your car life under a good value, and then it's maintained on a regular basis. So that's a massive reason why we're going to say, yeah, you'd want to use a 1, 2, or 3 year coating versus the bigger ones. It's a much better experience for not only the installer, our customer, but then also the person using it, their car life, which is also our customer because we do both. But, you know, we get to help out the whole industry that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, look, I have customers that flip cars every 6 months. I have customers that don't flip cars at all. You know, look, I have a car that I love in my life. The benefit of a 1 year coating over a 3 year coating is also one's easier to take off. You know, a 3+ year coating has more active ingredient in it. So let's say I have it on my car and I want to PPF my car. Now I'm talking heavy compound, heavy cut. You know, now I got to finish it out. I'm in a battle, right? So Ryan, it's a good question, but there's a lot of reasons to choose 1 year, and there's a lot of reasons to choose 3+ year, and there's a lot of reasons to choose 5 year and 2 year. And what we have seen in the coating market is nobody wants to talk about it. It's just like, hey, use this big, robust coating, and DIYers can't do it. Look, man, coating technology so far and beyond. I put my first coating on a car in 2010. I mean, I saw it when you used to have to chisel it off and sand it off and sand a whole door, and I was there. We say this on our podcast all the time. The people that talk about coating and don't have a broad view of it weren't there when it was bad. Because when it was bad, it was unworkable. And so I would choose for a lot of customers that 1 and 2 year coating are very successful. But look, I got a ton of customers that have 5 year coatings, 3 year coatings on their car as well. But I also have cars that are completely covered head to toe in PPF, customer to customer.
There you go. And that's why they are professional podcasters, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to wrap this bad boy up. Is there any final thoughts from you two?
Yeah, because I saw somebody saying he's got some products in his cart and wants to.
Yeah, Mike, that's the last question. Mike wants a discount code. You got something for him?
We love discount codes, don't we, Nick? That's our favorite thing. So, hey, all good, you know, no problem. Let's do cleaner cast 10. And Mike can save 10%. Cleaner cast 10. So anybody listen to this, they can go on a HyperCLEAN store. Yep. Or if you're just on HyperCLEAN store, usually there's a little pop-up and it's going to say, hey, do you want 10% off?
Actually, if you join our email list, you guys, it'll send you an email and it'll give you 10% off. But here's the greatest thing. One product I'll add to my list because Marty's list would have been my list. Fuego. It's about as no touch wheel cleaner as it gets right now. And it's, you know, multi-use, and for my business, it's been a game changer for us. And we can't thank everybody enough for listening. Check us out at hypercleanstore.com. That's where you guys can find us. And Pints and Polishing Podcast.
I don't even have to tell them to do the plugs. They're professionals, people.
Yeah.
We're on top of it.
I
But yeah,
just
any more
followed everything
plugs?
we were doing this, so very
Awesome.
cool.
Yep.
Very, very
So that'll wrap it up. HyperCleanStore.com, HyperClean at HyperClean on all the social medias. Go check it out. Got this detailing specialist. Go join the Facebook group. Once you get some products to try it out, you're gonna hop in that group immediately. I'm telling you, this stuff is good. Gentlemen, I think we did it. Heck of a cast. Great show. And I think we'll do this again in the future once some of them more coatings and more products, the more overbuilt products continue to roll out from HyperClean. I'm looking forward to it. Dewar, you got any last minute words?
Nope, just thanks again, guys, for coming on.
We got to get some HyperClean to Canada. Got to get it.
Oh yeah, we're working.
Yeah, we got to get it up here. So it's appreciate you guys coming on, and I've listened to a few Pints and Polishing podcasts, so it's
thanks, man.
Awesome.
Community. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
There you go.
So,
Thanks for everything.
very cool.
Marty, give us a heck yeah beer.
I know.
Beer bag.
He is Stone Cold. Hey, I forgot Jamie was a wrestling guy.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll
All right,
see you
thank
on the
you.
next one. See you next week. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.